its internal power sharing structures to enhance internal liberties, autonomies, and development, it is quite possible for Nigeria to realize those early dreams that the lead lecturer told us that they felt as young men when Nigeria was getting her independence. But although we do not agree on details, there is one thing we mostly agree, because I've been following the debate on restructuring. No one advocating the restructuring of Nigeria is opposed to its unity and development. We are all agreed, if you oppose the continuous existence of a nation, you will not be offering restructuring. You will be offering something else. There are arguments out there that those who want Nigeria restructured don't want her to exist as a united country. I have not heard that. I have not seen it in any of the issues raised by the guest lecturer. Reality is, most of us that want this country restructured believe that the restructuring will make Nigeria a greater place and a greater country for our children. In what has happened in the last 30 to 35 years, as a teacher, as a journalist, and having followed some of the crises of the 80s, the 90s, the collapse of our different democratic experiments, the rise of militarism, and the crisis of the military state, it is obvious that our country, as presently constituted, is in need of restructuring. I believe that there may be different parameters upon which we want to restructure Nigeria. But one obvious fact which was mentioned in this paper is that there's power arrangement in the country between different tiers of government in the federation has not worked as it should work. The relationship between the central state and federating units is so grossly unequal that federating units are simply limping along without the capacity to develop the internal resources, some of it because the constitution prevents them from doing so. For example, our constitution as it is emphatically limits the freedom of any federating unit to exploit mineral resources. This was not the case in the First Republic. Today, this is the case, and it is not helping the country. I also believe that in view of the multiplicity of our various cultural realities, there are a lot of internal pressures that are going on in the smaller states that have come out of the military state. And I would like to urge that even though we have not arrived at that point of restructuring, the debate in the country and among our youths, particularly the hate speeches we're hearing, the songs that are being sung on radio and television, do not offer the correct atmosphere for this debate to lead to results and impact.
Nigeria is on a fast-moving train without brakes. Not that the brakes have failed. Originally, from amalgamation to independence, there was no brake. The brake was not put in the train by the British government, and so we're still going on that train, and we're going to crash because there is no brake. Now, when we crash, how we crash and what we do is what is very, very critical. I am here primarily as a Niger Delta person. I'm here as the Ijaw ethnic group. That all of this is in Nigeria. So right now we cannot disassociate any of these three structures I have spoken, one from the other. But we really must face the reality in Nigeria today. The reality in Nigeria today is that everybody, our fathers, the ones that have gone, the ones that are seated here, us that are backing behind you, and the ones that we are bringing on, there is huge crisis. We have nothing today to hand over to the future of Nigeria, and that's where the problem is. Now, we have a political structure that we must change, and change very quickly. In my opinion, I think that we must agree, and I speak this as someone who is coming from the grassroots. I have the authority of my people to say what I'm saying here, which is to say that we must agree on what will happen before the 2019 election. We cannot leave anything hanging so that we have an election and then we come back and start arguing about restructuring. No, no, no. We must agree that we will restructure. And everybody must be able to say what restructuring means to them. And we must sit down and agree on this before the 2019 election. Because in the Niger Delta, we do not believe that this government is willing or has the capacity to conduct a free and fair election. Reasons why we should have restructuring is the injustice of the system that has been run for a very long time, where we have ended up with 19 states against 17 states. And that became very evident when the Senate was able to throw out the discussion against restructuring. They were able to say no to restructuring in the Senate. That is only because you have a warped Senate in number. There is no way anything would go through if it is in the favor of southern Nigeria. Now, when it comes to sharing of allocation, the North has 419 local governments, and the South has 355 local governments. When they take allocation by local government from oil and gas resources, they are getting more. The people producing it are getting less. That has to change, and we cannot do it after 2019. We must do it before we go into the next election. We must have a new constitution. If there is something we like in the 1963 constitution, we discuss it and bring it into the new constitution that all Nigerians are going to sit down together. Atiku himself has said that the 1999 constitution was not what was agreed. What is on paper now was not the same constitution that they sat down and agreed upon. We must have political restructuring. We must have economic restructuring. We're tired of discussing and talking all the time. We must agree that we have to act in Nigeria today, and we must act very quickly. We must restructure. If we don't restructure, each ethnic group must call for a referendum. Let the people decide what they want to do with their life.
Those who are asking for restructuring, I happen to be one of them in the beginning. But I'm getting tired. I'm getting very tired to be asking for restructuring, as if I'm begging for people to liberate themselves. There is no section of the Nigerian nation state. We have 3 refineries. None of them is working. In everything by way of institution, whether it's health, education, other infrastructures, we're going backward. More than 2.5 trillion naira worth of food is imported into Nigeria, things that we could do here. We're no longer working. We share the oil money for next month, and we go buy houses in South Africa, buy a whole street in Washington, D.C., go and buy houses and relocate to Dubai, to Emirates. A lot of our people are already in Ghana. But is this the way we have to go? And so when people are now saying the youth are asking for too much, they want separation. If you look at the age of this youth, so-called youth, some of them are over 50. Some of them have graduated 10 years ago, no work. Some of them cannot marry because they have no work.
Welcome to First View Luxury Hotel. At First View Luxury Hotel, we offer excellent service. Our rooms have all the necessary facilities to make your stay comfortable and memorable. You will also have access to internet service, breakfast, 24-hour power supply, full air condition, free international calls, free tire pumping service, and free car battery charge. So what are you waiting for? Quickly visit First View Luxury Hotel. We are located at #1 Adeola off Raji Rasaki Road, First Estate, Amuwo, Odofin Festac, Lagos. For more information or reservation, please call us on 080-7578-7135 or 080-9990-0601. You can also take advantage of our online ongoing promo at www.firstviewhotel.com to make your reservation and payment for your favorite room, which attracts a discount rate. Please note, rooms are reserved based on first come, first serve. First View Luxury Hotel. Experience the home of comfort. They come.